Hello, everyone. This is KJ from KJ Around the World. I just wanted to say hello to you today. I am coming on for a live to do something that I've wanted to do for the longest while, and I'm so excited about it. I am launching. Bum, bum, bum. This is my new baby. So I have been working on this book for a while. For those of you who have been a part of the community for the past year, you know that I've had a podcast and I was working on this podcast for educators and for teachers who are burnt out at their jobs and just want to do something different and want to be able to continue teaching and working with children or working with adults, but they just want to do it in a different country. And so with this podcast, I've turned it into a book. And it is the same title, Loves Teaching Will Travel, but it's really a detailed account of how I can provide some inspiration to educators who want to teach from anywhere. And I'm so excited about this book. There's so much that I have within it. It's not just a book where you can just sit down and read, it's actually an active book where you can do journal prompts. There's some journal prompts in there. There are also some reflection questions, resource lists. So there's some resource lists here. If you're looking for information, looking to get started, perhaps you have some questions about your journey and how to even get started, and you don't know where to begin, this is where you start. This is where you start. You take a look at yourself, you take a look at who you are, why you want to take on this journey, why this journey is even important to you, and how you can be able to work with people abroad, whether it's in other schools or in online environments, in order to make this dream happen for you, making this dream happen for you. So, for those of you who are, let's see, interested in education, perhaps you can leave some questions. Actually, right now, I'm just looking to see how I can add closed caption to this. I know it's possible. Let me see. How can I add closed caption to this? Is it possible to add closed caption? I'm not sure. But I just want everyone to be able to be a part of this live and understand what's happening and be able to participate actively. So I'm trying to figure out if there is a way to work on closed caption. Not sure. But if not, just try to come back and get onto the closed caption settings and see if you're able to just be able to do the closed caption on the rewatch. Now, getting back to the book, this is an indie published book. I published it myself. I went through Amazon. If any of you are familiar with Kindles from a couple years ago, people are able to create ebooks, people are able to create even paperback books and hardcover books through Amazon. It's an interesting process, and hopefully, I'm able to kind of create a video down the line just explaining some of the steps that it takes to create a indie published book. Going through Amazon, picking your own prices, picking, where you want the book to be sold. This is a book that's not just being sold in the US or in Canada, it's being sold in countries like Denmark, Spain. It's being, I believe, Japan is also on the list of countries that you're able to get this in, and you can get it in your native language and read it so that you can also be inspired to teach from anywhere, right? It's not just for teachers who want to leave the US and perhaps go abroad and teach. But if you're in another country, perhaps you're in India or you're in South Africa, and you're interested in teaching in another country, whether it's coming to the US or coming to the UK, this is a great tool to help you just reflect on what you want to do, the direction you'd like to go into in order for you to get started on your journey. Now, if you are curious about how I even started the process of this, I really just went back and thought about all the different episodes. The only thing I didn't include in this were the episodes where I had guests. And I think that's something that's really special. And you need to be able to get onto the podcast to hear the voices and stories of these individuals so that you can really hear from them what their story is and what their journey has been being able to teach abroad in another country. So that part I did not include in this book. This was really focused on being able to look at different aspects, such as knowing your why, getting recruited and hired, countries with the best salaries, working at international schools. Got no certification? No problem. There are opportunities out there for you too. So, this is a book for everyone who is in the field of education. Another chapter is called Staying Inspired and Motivated in Difficult Times, right? We all go through trauma, we all go through family tragedies or health scares. And I think it's important for us to remember that on our journey, on that road to trying to figure out where we want to be and how we want to do this for ourselves, we have to be able to know how to get through some difficult times. And that's something I wanted to address in the book. I also have some networking yourself to success. I don't think we take enough advantage of our resources around us, the people around us, and how they can be a magnificent resource for us. And so that's some, you know, topics I talk about in here. Another one is don't be afraid of change. Sometimes we're so afraid to take that next step and move forward in our lives and say, you know what, I'm going to take the leap, I'm going to take the jump and, start that new career or start that job in another country. And we're so afraid of this change that we don't take advantage of it and we don't take the opportunity. And then later in life, we're like, I really wish I did take advantage of this. So that's something I wanted to address here. And then in our last chapter, I focus on the future of education. Let me just adjust this a little bit. I talk about the future of education. Like, honestly, I look like a floating head going like this. So, in the last chapter, I talk about the future of teaching, which is really important. And it's a topic that's actually really important to me because I think it's important for us as educators to know how to change with the times. Many times we have our job, we're in our job for 5, 10 years, and technology changes or the needs of our students change. And we're stuck in this rut of, no, I'm not going to change either. I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing previously, and that will not work. And so, in the chapter, The Future of Teaching, I focus on how people can move into the space of teaching online. This is something that is happening. It's here to stay. It's not something that started with the pandemic. People have been, getting degrees and taking classes online for years, but it just became more mainstream with the pandemic. And something I've found in my research is that there are high schools online, right? So if you want to continue with your teaching practice of teaching with adults or teaching with children, you can do this whether it's in a college, in high school. There are even opportunities for those of you who want to work with homeschool children where you can be able to teach them as well. So the future of teaching is here and it's not going anywhere. And it's important for us to be able to change with the times so that we can move with it as well and just change our practice up. Now, at the end of the book, I really wanted people to think about how they could reflect on taking action. Sometimes we think about our plan, we're like, all right, we've got this plan, I know I want to do this thing and I know I want to be able to change my life, go abroad or teach online, right? And we don't know where to start. And even if we have a plan and we've created that plan, it's important to reflect on why do we even have this plan in the first place, right? I think some of us might see social media and be influenced by those who are, going to Bali or going to all these places, but not realizing why we really want to do this. And it's important for you to reflect before you take action. Please reflect before you take action. There's so much that can be said for the educator who wants to try something new, teach in another country, be able to teach online and literally teach from anywhere, right? But if you're not reflecting on your action and what this will mean for your life going forward, you might not be happy no matter where you go. So it's something for you to really think about before you get started. And that was the book. On the back, I've got some more inspirational words for you. I also have a beautiful picture here of Quebec City. Um, this was something that I wanted to add because it just felt inspiring to think about the last place that I had been, which was Quebec City, and how that was even more inspiring to me to get this book out to everyone, especially those educators who are curious about what's happening in the field of education. I know a lot of us have heard about the teacher shortages and people who are leaving education to go work in tech or leaving education to work in a completely different field altogether. But I'm here to really try to inspire you to rethink that shift, right? Think about the things that feel right for you when it comes to teaching and all the reasons why you wanted to become a teacher in the first place. And whether you're in education as an aide, as a paraprofessional, as a curriculum designer, as an administrator, right? Maybe you're a school principal, maybe you're working as a guidance counselor, whatever it is in the field of education, right? Whatever you do in your role as an educator, I want you to really think about the shift and the change that you want to make. And if you do really want to go into tech, then go into tech. But if you are still passionate about the field of education and you're still passionate about working with adults or working with children, I think it's important to just take a step back and really think about what you can do with that knowledge, that skill that you have from becoming an educator, and how you can transfer it into something that can help you to land a job in Switzerland, right? Perhaps land a job in Finland. Hey, that would really suit me well. But it's a great way for you to just think for a minute about the route that you can take and what it would mean to just leave education altogether and start something new instead of perhaps going into teaching online or go into teaching abroad, right? There are lots of opportunities out there for you, and I want you to still feel empowered and encouraged to be an educator. Just think about whether the shift serves you well if you continue in education or if you take a different route and perhaps go into photography or tech or another type of environment that pays well but might not feed your soul the way teaching does or working in education does. I know that was it for me. I thought about all the other things that I could do. I've been blogging for years. I can go into tech. You know, I could freelance helping people with content creation, blogging, SEO, but teaching is my passion and being an educator is my passion. And it's something that I want to continue to do, whether I continue being in the classroom in the US or not, because that's just what feels right for me. And I think it's important for everyone to do what feels right for them. And that's definitely the message that flows through this book is doing what feels right for you and doing what works for you in order to live a fulfilling life and a life that once you are older, you can reflect and say, you know what, I've lived the life that I wanted and I feel good about it. And I feel good about the choices that I've made because I've done the things that feel right for me. So I wanted to share this book with everyone. I know that some of you have been able to get a chance to read it because I did offer it on a free promotion last week. And I know many of you were able to take a look, and I'm so excited about this. And I hope that you can share the book with your teacher friends, share the book with, colleagues that you know, share the book with families. If you've already had a chance to read the book, perhaps you can leave a little review, share your thoughts on the book with me. If you have some questions about the book, please don't hesitate to ask. The community tab is there. You can reach out and connect with me. Please don't hesitate to connect with me about things that you might be curious about or topics you'd want me to talk about in the future when it comes to teaching from anywhere, because I'm very, very open to talking about education. Hey, I'm also very open to connecting about the podcast, right? Getting you on the podcast. If you're an educator who has gone abroad or you're thinking about going abroad, we can connect on the podcast as well. So I'm here. I know, like, more people are coming in. I was about to wrap it up, but I know more people are coming in. So perhaps I'll just give a quick snippet of what I said previously about the book. This is a book for educators. It doesn't matter if you're a classroom teacher or you are an aide, paraprofessional, or you work as a guidance counselor. If you work in education and you're curious about teaching abroad, you're curious about making some changes in your career, it's a great, great way for you to think and reflect about the journey that you want to embark on and how this is going to make some changes in your life. And the book is active participation book. It's not a book that you're just going to read and put down. Read each chapter, take a look at the journal prompts, take a look at the resources that are there, and see how they can support you in your journey to either thinking about why you want to do this, or you've thought about the schools that you want to work at, you thought about the countries you want to work at, but you just don't know where to start. This book is definitely going to be there to help you and support you in that journey to get started. So if you have some questions, you can definitely put them in the chat. I am answering questions. um, if you do catch this on the replay, you can always leave some comments and I'll get back to you with some answers. So just because you don't catch it live doesn't mean you can't connect with me on the replay, and I can just answer some questions for you and reach out to you about whatever you'd like to know, whether it's questions about the book, questions about teaching abroad, questions about me and my journey as an educator. I'm here to answer those questions for you. So just drop a comment, leave a little message in the chat. Maybe you can leave a little emoji like, hey, little wave, whatever works for you. Okay, so no problem. It's all right. I understand. Delay in cell service. No worries. At least you're here. The important thing is joining, getting on, even on the replay, being able to connect with me and be a part of this community. It's a growing community. I know many people who are curious about teaching abroad, about remote work, about being able to teach from anywhere. And if I'm able to help you on this journey to answering some of those questions, I'd really feel good about that. There are some things that drive me and are my passion, and this has definitely become one of them, as I know what it takes to move in the field of education and build your career and move forward. And if I can help someone else to get on that path and do the things that feel right for them and have them be in a career that they feel passionate about, that makes me feel good. So I'm going to wrap it up in a little bit. Thank you to those who were able to join this morning. If you weren't and you're catching it on the replay, hey, you're always welcome. It's so, so great to have you here, and it's so great to have you be a part of this community. Catch the book. Again, it is located on Amazon. You can get the paperback. You can also get the ebook. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can get it for free because it's already, looped into the subscription. So catch the book. It's here. Loves teaching, will travel, inspiration to teach from anywhere. It is a book that can work for you, work for your teacher friends, work for your family members who are in education. And if you want to refer them to my channel, I am KJ Around the World. I'll see you next time. Bye.